Hooray for a new location, which is about 40 feet away from my previous location, which is just behind that window that I wiggled my finger at. Anyway, so there's 2 new videos by our old favorite fucktard, and as far as I'm concerned, he has like some kind of mild autism, and I'm being dead serious when I say that. Yes, he's a sociopathic narcissist, but I think coupled with that, he has a very mild autism. I mean, there's no other way that this guy could inflate his fucking ego this bad and think that there's nothing suspicious about his delivery of this entire issue that I didn't even want to comment on in the first place. He got what he wanted, though. And I mean, the comments on his one video, SOMEGUY827 Proven Innocent, I mean, if that isn't a testament enough to what most people think of this guy, the title alone should tell you what he thinks of himself. SOMEGUY827 Proven Innocent, apologize to SOMEGUY827. The thing that just bothers me the most about you is that you have no ability to identify yourself as yourself. You literally live through your screen name. That is you. And I've said this multiple times before, that you, as Gregory, don't really exist. You hate that version of you so much that you made up this bullshit online identity, and that just became you. Which I find funny, actually. I find that unbelievably sad. I think that there's nothing in the world more that's pathetic than some asshole who cannot take the mask off for 10 seconds and be himself when his credibility comes to question. This video itself is just ridiculous, and then there's another one where he roasts himself, so I'm going to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and not drag it out for an hour.
Okay guys, this is actually the final tortoise video. Tortoise, not turtle, I called him.
See, the way you deliver it even in the beginning, this was all just drama to you. So you ended the life of an innocent creature on purposely so you could create drama. And you think that you literally live in the delusion that I'm responding to you because this is what YouTubers do. It doesn't even occur to you that this offends me. It doesn't even enter into your thick skull whatsoever that I'm fundamentally just find this deplorable that you would do this to like another living being simply for drama. You know, look at the bullshit shit he thinks that gets him off the hook.
A turtle because it just is easier to say. Anyway, it really is to me at least. I just looked up tortoise. What exact kind of tortoise I have. It's a Russian tortoise, not a desert tortoise, but guess what that means?
That means you lied about what kind of turtle you said you owned. I mean, you came out saying, well, it's a desert tortoise, it can handle that now, it's a Russian tortoise. Well, now it's a box turtle. Who gives a fuck? It doesn't change the fact that you, dick, need to edify your own ego so heavily that you literally murdered something just to get a rise out of people. You'll sit here and pontificate your bullshit side of things, which are just facts you made up. I mean, you go into saying, well, if it didn't reach its basking temperature even in the box, then how could it have died from heat, greenhouse gases, greenhouse effect? Those aren't words that people who believe in global warming throw around. They're actual science, and those things happen, which contributed to the death, which you probably knew they'd contribute to the death of a pet that you killed simply to get a rise out of people, because you're an asshole and a psycho. I mean, this next video, fuck this, I don't even want to watch like 2 more seconds of this next video too. SOMEGUY827 roast. Look at this fucking bullshit in the description box here. Go tweet CM Punk, John Cena, and The Rock, and Vince McMahon, letting them know you want to see SOMEGUY827's banana power on WWE. This whole thing. So nothing in your life exists but for popularity. I mean, do you really think that people think you're cool? Do you? Do you really think that they look at your videos and go, wow, what a cool guy? Do they think that they look at your fucking hairstyle or the clothes you wear or the music you're into and go, wow, that's a guy I want to be? They don't. They look at an edifying, egotistical, all about you, never about them kind of asshole. Your fans did not bring you the life that you have right now. It's the fact that other people you work with, who you feature in these roast videos, brought you to be where the fuck you are. Because you're just too goddamn stupid and lazy to get it on your own. And that's why I think you have like a mild autism or something. Because if it wasn't for the fact you make a lot of money off the internet having to do nothing, you probably would have to be living on SSI welfare because you're incapable of getting a job, because you don't know how to socialize with people enough in order to hold down an occupation or be around other people without segmenting them away because you have an inability to live in a world that isn't all about you. It's just, these are all postulations and speculations, and you go ahead and do the dirty work for me and prove my speculations correct yourself. But here, let's just try like 4 seconds of this and see if I even want to stomach it, really.
What's up, guys? As a lot of you know, I'm a brutally honest person. I said I wasn't going to do any more roasts, and I'm not. I can't roast anyone except for me. So remember, before I get started, every single time you like an Onision video, a 5-year-old gets gingivitis. Onision is
Isn't that funny? That doesn't...
Rick, second line, look at me move. I guess you could say, I don't always do wrong things, but when I do, people freak out. I was promoting suicide? You mean because I was suicidal? That's the way you phrase it?
I kind of wish you were suicidal, because I think the most sexy image that could ever exist on the internet right now is a picture of you with a Remington double-barreled shotgun in your mouth right as it goes off and rips your fucking brains out of your skull. I mean, that's honestly the best future that you could have. I mean, I love this. And this is exactly why I think that he has some kind of just disconnect. He kills a pet for attention, gets all kind of upset and all kind of mad about that, and then within the same day, probably within minutes of making a video where he's acting one way, he'll act this way in another video.
Oh my god, I'm so depressed, I want to kill myself. Hey, stop promoting suicide. But I'm just telling people that I want to die.
With all these jump cuts and editing and all this, you see where I mean that he's got a disconnect. You understand what I mean? He's got a disconnect where it's just the world isn't really real to him, that his decisions, even though they're having a real impact on other people's lives, he just doesn't see that. I guess getting beaten by a flashlight with from your mother would do that to somebody, but I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're gonna promote suicide, just go kill yourself. Society. Okay, so you guys, my brainwashed idiot audience, according to some people, Smurfs, are just mindless drones who do whatever I tell you to.
Yeah, they do. They come to my videos, watch 4 or 5 of them, and then they want to hate me, and then about 2 days later, I get more subscribers. Thanks for the subscribers, honestly. I mean, the entire thing is just, it's so fucking duplicitous and so fucking offensive, and honestly, I'm not going to try to waste too much more energy on it. If YouTube wants to willingly support somebody that's going to kill an innocent creature for entertainment, then they really need to take a look at their goddamn priorities. This goes directly to anybody at YouTube, anybody within my partnership company, anybody with anybody else's partnership company. If you're thinking about partnering with this Onision asshole, just remember that you're going to be sponsoring someone who's willing to kill an innocent creature for entertainment, to perpetuate drama. That's not a business opportunity. That's covering up for a criminal. As far as I'm concerned, this guy's a fucking criminal. He dates underage women intentionally because he knows they're stupid enough to be able to fall for his idiotic psycho advances. He's already knocked one of them up. Actually, he's knocked 2 of them up so far, but made one of them miscarry. There's such a gigantic torrent of bad things about this guy that he's incapable of even comprehending is wrong, that it would be imperative that any company not work with this guy, ever. He's a nut. He would make your company look bad. Thousands of requests to get him kicked off several events always go up when they feature his name anywhere. VidCon, banned from. When he did this Digitor thing, people wanted him off it. There were hundreds of messages on its page, on its Facebook page, wanting him off it. So I don't think that any company out there would really want to represent this asshole. I mean, it's not going to do anything but drive views and subscriptions to your channels and your content and whatever. However, is that the kind of representation that you want? I mean, you're willing to sacrifice your moral dignity or your moral conscience just for a couple of views on the internet, really? Really? I mean, Google can be a scummy company. Yeah, we fucking all know that. But this is just going beyond the boundaries of stupidity. Let's see. I did close that other video, so let's go back to that. And I just love, too, in the Proven Innocent video here, where it's like, apologize to Onision. Like, he's just forcing you to apologize. Like, it's not arrogant enough that he claims that through his bogus evidence, which is incorrect from a scientific point of view entirely, that he can just put that on the internet and then force you to apologize. I know that's directed at me, and I'm not going to apologize to you. You're a cunt. I honestly think that you're a cunt. I think that you're an absolute moron. I think that you're retarded. I think that you're the most despicable scum of the earth, bottom feeder asshole that exists. And I don't want to be your friend. I know that you do these video exchanges because you're retarded. You were dropped on your head as a child. You were prematurely born. I know that maybe only one hemisphere of your brain probably formed. Whereas people have a left and right brain, you have just your cerebellum down here, so you can have basic movement, and that's really the only thing that's functioning. But I don't know how to put this to you. I don't like you. I think you're a disgusting individual. I think that if murder were legal in this country, someone would have taken you out by now for the things that you've done to people long before you ever came onto YouTube. I think that if it were a matter of my pure judgment and choice, and I had the authority to do so, I'd throw you into psychological medical testing facilities to figure out what the fuck is going on with your sick brain, and the only answer that would come out of these tests would be that you're just retarded, that you probably were better off being an abortion. I know these criticisms are harsh, I know they're dark, but I just don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Anybody that's willing to kill a small animal because they know it's easier than killing a larger one to get a rise out of people is a very pathologically minded psycho. And they strictly calculated exactly what the fuck they were doing. So how long has this video been going on? 11 minutes? Okay, that's almost too long. It's longer than I wanted to make this. Anyway, it's a nice day outside, so I might make a couple of other vlogs about various other things that don't have shit to do with this while I'm out here. Because I do like the fresh air. It's nice and cloudy out, even though it does look sunny. It's actually quite cloudy out in the world over there that's so bright it looked like the sun just went supernova. But until I make those videos, I'm some guy on the internet. So are you. See ya.